Presidential candidate and current governor of New Mexico, Bill Richardson. Governor Richardson, welcome back to This Week.
Well, look, my view is that the United States, if we had a stronger relationship with Russia, we could exercise strong diplomacy to stop this effort against Georgia. We should immediately go to the United Nations Security Council, condemn Russia's action, and then get the Security Council to pass a strong resolution getting the Russians to show some restraint and possibly at the same time generate some UN peacekeeping troops. The problem, though, is that we don't have the kind of influence and strength in our relationship with Russia to persuade them. This has been one of the failures of the Bush administration, failing to build a strong relationship, a mutually beneficial relationship with Russia, so we'd have the kind of influence to persuade them to stop some of these very, very dangerous efforts within their territory.
Well, so you see this incursion as an example of the lack of diplomatic skills by the Bush administration, but some might see them as evidence that Senator McCain is correct when he basically says, well, he says that Russia has no business being in the G8 because it does not share the same values as those Western nations. Does this incursion not verify that Senator McCain's assessment of Russia is correct?
Well, you know, Senator Obama has said, let's use diplomacy. I believe what Senator McCain is proposing is totally wrong. Keeping him out of the G8, Russia is a major superpower. We have to build a kind of relationship with Russia so that we can deal with them on restraining Iran from building nuclear weapons, so that we can deal with Russia in the Middle East, help us in the situation in Iraq. You know, Senator Obama's policy of diplomacy, of building international support for our goals, makes sense. What Senator McCain wants to do is continue the Bush policies of trying to isolate Russia, you know, build this missile system there, find ways to be aggressive against Russia. It's not working, and Russia doesn't respect our efforts to try to restrain them. So I believe what Senator Obama is proposing, international diplomacy, build a strong relationship with countries like Russia and China, find the United Nations as a vehicle to bring this crisis possibly to an end. That's what we need. Look what's happening. Senator McCain wants to isolate Russia further. That's not going to work. That'll make Russia more detrimental in the relationship with the United States.
Well, Governor Richardson, practically speaking, Russia's on the UN Security Council. They can veto anything. What would going to the United Nations do?
Well, look, you can build international support, first of all, condemn Russia's action, then put international pressure on Russia. Doesn't mean they would veto their own resolution. It's likely they would. But the point is the United States doesn't have any international allies to put pressure on Russia. What Senator Obama wants to do was America lead, but find ways to deal with Russia, with China, with Iran, with North Korea through face-to-face diplomacy. Tough negotiations. Look what Senator Obama wants to do in Iraq. He wants to withdraw our forces, and now, right now, the Iraqis are agreeing with Senator Obama's position of a pullout, a timeline within a certain period of time, safely and securely for our troops, and focus on Afghanistan. Focus on terrorism there. That is where America's threat is. That's where the Al-Qaeda and Taliban are getting stronger.
Well, Governor Richardson, the McCain campaign put out a very forceful statement calling the situation in Georgia dire and blaming Russia. Here's what the Obama campaign's response. They said, quote, John McCain's top foreign policy advisor lobbied for and has a vested interest in the Republic of Georgia, and McCain has mirrored the position advocated by the government. Now, Georgia is a strong U.S. ally. Is that really an appropriate response to such a serious international crisis, to blame the McCain campaign's position on one of his advisors?
Well, you know, Jake, the McCain campaign is getting very negative. Right now they have a very negative ad on Senator Obama, the celebrity ad during the Olympics, while Senator Obama has a positive, uplifting ad about the importance of Olympic spirit. Senator McCain is the Washington celebrity here. His campaign is run by lobbyists that represent Georgia and other countries. His campaign is negative. He changes positions. He takes huge amounts of money from oil companies that are profiting in the Soviet Union and many parts of the world. $200 million in the last few months.
I don't think it's $200 million.
Into the McCain.
I think it's $2 million, not $200 million.
$2 million that have gone in since Senator McCain switched his position on offshore oil. You know, this is a campaign run by lobbyists, so we have a Washington celebrity campaign going on, and it's negative. And the American people want to see the good, positive positions of both candidates. And the best part about Senator Obama's campaign is he can bring people together. He's uplifting of the American people. He can bring Republicans and Democrats together to deal with energy, with the economy, and many other important issues that affect this country.